Come on in, go behind the podium. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Tom Goodrich, West.
All right, you have two matters. The first one is an out-of-county warrant from Cochise County Superior Court for one count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, that's a felony, and then one count of failure to appear in the first degree. Because you didn't go to court, then you get another charge, that's a failure to appear. That can be a felony or a misdemeanor. They'll have to appoint you an attorney there if you're eligible. I can't do it in Maricopa County. Your next hearing will be in arraignment September 30th at 8:30. And the judge in Cochise County set your bond at $5,000. Now you've got another charge here in Maricopa County. This is one count of unlawful flight from law enforcement. That's a Class 5 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for October 3rd at 1:30. Now, since you were out on release from the Cochise County case, when this allegedly occurred, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 4.2A7A, you're going to be held non-bailable. But you and your attorney, you can challenge that at that evidentiary hearing that I've set for the 3rd of October. Okay? Court staff will bring you your paperwork. Go and have a seat back there. Nikki Valencia, come on in. And Melissa Collins to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Nikki Valencia.
You've got a Superior Court new case alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, one count of tampering with physical evidence, Class 6 felony, and one count of driving while license suspended, canceled, or revoked, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for October 3rd at 1:30. Since you were out on release on other charges when this allegedly occurred, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 4.2A7A, you're going to be held no bond. But you and your attorney, you can challenge that, and that's going to happen at that evidentiary hearing, October 3rd. Yes.
I try to reach out to my attorney since I've been given an attorney. He has not reached out to me or nothing. I was wondering if the courts can due to conflict of interest. He's not.
Can I do what?
If you due to a conflict of interest, he's not. Appoint me another lawyer. What I'm saying is, the lawyer I have since my prior case has not reached out to me.
Yeah, I can't appoint you another lawyer. I'm just appointing the public defender's office. But when you go to court the next time, you can talk to the judge about if you're having any issues with your court-appointed lawyer.
I've never seen my lawyer.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Talk to the judge. You'll be in custody, so they'll be bringing you over there.
Okay, my next question is, my lawyer in the evidentiary hearing has a chance to challenge the charges that I'm being accused of.
What did you say?
During the evidentiary hearing on the 3rd.
That's going to be to determine whether you're going to get a bond or not. Right now, you can't bond out.
Yeah, okay, so now if the individual is to confess that was his stuff, that's in the evidentiary hearing, that'd be enough evidence to allow me to pawn.
Well, the state has to proof evident and presumption great on these new charges. If they do, then you'll stay in custody.
Okay, because they're not going to prove. I didn't do anything.
Okay, well, that'll be up to the judge.
I have driving to suspend the license. That's correct, I think.
What did you say?
I think maybe the driving with no license. I think I may.
I still can't hear you.
Driving with no license, ma'am, I think that's maybe...
Well, that's the misdemeanor. You're not really held, you're held on that, but you have to have a felony. The two felonies are possession of dangerous drugs and then destroying or altering physical evidence.
I didn't do any of that, so it's okay.
Okay, well, you can talk to your lawyer about that. Get your paperwork. Melissa Collins, come on in. Isabel Martinez, to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Melissa Marie Collins.
Okay, you have three matters altogether. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging One count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. One count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I set a $2,000 bond on this. Now, the next two matters that you have are both probation violations. You're on probation for a Class 2 felony and a Class 6 felony. Probation is now alleging you violated your probation by getting that new charge. It's called a Term 1. I've appointed a lawyer on both of your probation violations to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedures 7.2C. You'll be held non-bailable on the two probations. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Isabel Martinez, come on in. Richard Downey to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Isabel Martinez, 10.
Okay, you've got two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of aggravated driving under the influence when your license is suspended or revoked. That's a Class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $5,000 bond on that. Now, probation is now alleging you violated your probation by getting the new charge. That's called a Term 1. You're on probation for a Class 3 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable.
Yeah.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Richard Downey, come on in. Tiara Amack to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Richard Downey, 5.
All right, you have two matters. They're both probation violations. You're on probation for a Class 3 and a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable on each. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Tiara Amack, come on in. And Leonard Wilson to the chair outside the courtroom. Okay, state your name and date of birth.
Tiara Amack.
You've got a Superior Court new case alleging 2 counts of armed robbery with a deadly weapon. 1 count of burglary in the first degree. Those are Class 2 felonies. 1 count of kidnapping, Class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $250,000 cash bond.
I have a question. Can I ask it or no?
You have what?
I have a question.
Yeah?
So they're going on with the investigation because I have
There's ongoing what?
an ongoing investigation because they have our phones and we have proof too of stuff. How would it, how is that going to go about that?
How would what go about what?
Because we have the evidence on the phone basically too of what led up to that.
Did the police officers seize your phone?
Yeah, the detective said that if they prove innocence in this, then
Well, this is something you should talk to your attorney about.
I didn't know I didn't know I was getting an attorney.
I just appointed you one.
Okay.
Okay? All right, they'll bring you your paperwork. Leonard Wilson, come on in. And then Francesca Jaramillo to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Henry Ray Wilson Jr.
A Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 3 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 6, 7, and 12. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C. You'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Francesca, come on in, and Melissa Hughes Cody to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Francesca Jaramillo.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of armed robbery, one count of aggravated robbery, it's a Class 2 felony and a Class 3 felony, one count of shoplifting, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, and I've set a cash-only bond of $200,000. No returning to any of the scenes of the crime, no contact with your co-defendant. Understood?
Yes.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Melissa, come on in. State your name and date of birth.
Melissa Hughes Cody,
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of fraudulent schemes, Class 2 felony, one count of trafficking in stolen property in the first degree, Class 2 felony, 2 counts of forgery, and 6 counts of forgery possessing a forged instrument. Those are all Class 4 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $75,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that, no returning to the alleged scene of the crime, no contact with your co-defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Elizabeth Wood, come on in. Christina Barraza to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Elizabeth Wood.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 7 counts of organized retail theft, 1 count of conspiracy to commit organized retail theft. Those are all Class 4 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $50,000 secured appearance bond. No returning to any of the alleged scenes of crime and no contact with your co-defendant. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Christina, come on in, and Karen Laverny to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Christina Barraza, 10.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 8 counts of organized retail theft and 1 count of conspiracy to commit organized retail theft, all Class 4 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $25,000 bond. No contact with any of the alleged victims or no returning to the alleged scene of the crime. No contact with your co-defendant. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Is it Corinne? Come on in. And then Justin Rangel to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Trent Laverne.
Date of birth?
Oh, yeah.
1997?
Correct.
Okay, you've got a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony. Based on your financial affidavit, I could not find that you're indigent. So you can do one of 2 things. You can either hire your own attorney or give more information to the next judge about your bills or whatever you have, okay? Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $10,000 secured appearance bond. No contact with the alleged victim and no returning to the alleged scene of the crime. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Justin Rangel, come on in. and Clyde